Manzwane zvikomborero
muriku kuvapatenzi vamwe vari kugashira madonwe mundipenyi marikuneneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneneni madonwe mundipenyi musandipureba bakananda shata ini itenzimu sazondisiye mutawe wenyundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi rimuchite matine urambo ini emayowa matwange pasi mundisu nungurenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi musafuvu remabofu marapenyi itau bawa wa Jesu arunyara rondipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi tiri muchite matine urambo ini iwa mayowa matwange pasi mundisu nungurenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi musafuvu remabofu marapenyi itau bawa wa Jesu runyara rondipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi marikuneni madonwe mundipenyi.
Welcome once again to this week's edition of Everyone Has Your Story. I'm your host, Ngwenya.
Here on Everyone Has a Story, we have intelligent conversations, amazing testimonies and stories, heart-wrenching, even stories. But we want to thank God for this platform. Hey, toda kungotenda Mwari mufunge vadiwa vateereri kwamuri mese kumativi mana enyika tinokukwasai nekukufarirai semazuva ese. Inini mukatongoona ndichismaila motozati zvangu zvinotanga zviri right. Kana ndikazobirwa smile ndezvaitika panapa, but otherwise ndinokufarirai. Saka the only thing I can give you from where you are right now is just a smile and just to tell you that God loves you. The fact that we are watching this program, it means we have been granted the mercies that are new every morning. And today, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we plan to rejoice in it. And isusu pana papa, Everyone Has a Story. We want to welcome you with your story, big, small. Usanetseke, usatanga waevaluate story yako uri ikoko, usaidukupise uri ikoko, usaityire uri ikoko. We will make it itaurike. Usatye makamera, tinokuita kuti ufile comfortable mulounge yamai Ngwenya pa Everyone Has a Story. Inini ndinofunga kutoti mastori enyu takatoamirira muri kunonoka nawo ane basa raari kufanira kuita. Saka mukanonoka nawo muri kutinonotsera vamwe vanhu vari kufanira kuita zvavari kufanira kuita because of your story. Saka Mwari ngaakuitirei zvakanaka patinoramba tichisangana pano. Remember to go and like our social media handles. Remember also to put a like, a reminder, and a share, and to also finish the story. Then give us feedback by 078 9922179. Musakanga nokutipa feedback. Zvinotikoshera izvozvo because hationi zvese, hatisi vana maziva zvese. Pakuedza kutaura story tinogona kusirira pamwe panokosha kana tinogona kudero tikubatai zvisiri right. Mobva mati mai Ngwenya imimika makati muchati mhoresa. Let me not start even nema shout outs because I owe the world my shout outs. But tine zvinhu zvatiri kugadzira. Studio yedu muri kuona kahanti yakachinja set. Kuratidza kuti pane zvinhu zvakawanda zviri kuchinja. Pamuchaona zvamuchaona taisa mazi screens edu ndo pamuchaona mazita enyu achingoswima ipapo. Kana kuti muchaona before the program totongokukwazisai. Tichaona kuti toita sei kuita kuti tikwanise kukwanisa munhu wese ane chaanotaura. Imimi munoramba muchitikwazisa, musanete zvenyu. Heish, ndiri kutaurisa kubva zvandakave nemukwasha. Handiti muri kuona nyaya dzachona dzokuti ndaanyu ambuya. Regai ndifarire mukwasha wangu Jeff. Ndinofara. Muchaona zvimwe zvatichaita. Tichatomboita kukunzirai pano tinongokuintroducai kuti uyu ndiye anonzi Jeff. Sorry for rubbing it in your face, but hey, ndakakudzai kuti ndiri kunyora bhuku rakanzi On My Becoming. It has so many other stories on my becoming whatever, but this one also, there is a segment when I say when I became a mother-in-law, what are the lessons out there for some vari kumirira nevatove nevakadini zvakawanda. Regai tipinde munyaya yedu yanhasi. Nyaya yedu yanhasi haisi nyaya itsva. It's a continuation, but surprise, surprise. Let me allow our guest to tell us who he is and where he is from. Last time patakataura, which is last week, takaona paine nyaya yaimereresa, yaita kunge iri surreal, but it's a real story because the author of the story is right here, telling it in his own words. Hatisi kuiturikira nyaya iyi ine muridzi wayo. Welcome once again, Dr. Hleza. Please greet the viewers and listeners back home, and maybe just introduce yourself once again with what you do and anything that you might want to say to our viewers and listeners. Like I did, I took all my time. It's your time.
Kwaziwai vateereri, ndinoitwa Dr. Charles Hleza. I am a lifestyle medicine specialist, naturopathic medical doctor, as well as a nutritionist. I am married to one wife, that is Michelle Gottwald, and I've been blessed with 2 children. One is a boy, one is a girl. I'm currently working at the Adventist Lifestyle Center of Zimbabwe East Union Conference as a residential doctor there. I'm someone who's very passionate when it comes to health ministries, especially when it comes to health reform and how to make it work within your context. At the same time, I am someone who enjoys being in nature and studying. I hope you're going to be blessed beyond measure with this segment as far as the miracles of God in the health ministry.
Thank you, Dr. Hleza. As you had he was almost preempting, and you know how he flows. And if you are seeing this one for the first time, I'm encouraging you to go back to last week, where we had a thrilling, can I say it was a thriller? Yeah, you know, kudhara pataimboona mafilm taiona maghostbusters nechichi. That was the horror yanga irimo. It was a mixture of everything, a beautiful journey where the Lord has taken him from and where he is now. And I just want to invite all of you to just go back and watch that discussion with me na Dr. Hleza last week. It was powerful, and I'm hoping even this one is still powerful, because some snippets zvandanzwa behind the scenes, I don't even know how to bring them into this conversation, but I hope he will bring them in. There are so many miracles, like he said in the healing ministry. Last week we were talking about your journey from a very early age, and the things that you did that no mother, and you even said some of the things your mother will be hearing them for the first time. And remember, I promised that next time, after this time, we'll make arrangements with the crew behind the scenes to see how we can have a live session, how we can have a live session. So it means after this one, the next one will be a live session. So prepare your questions. I know I've been promising things that I don't have control over, but this is my dream, and that's where we're going, and I'm sure it's doable. With social media now, we can do anything, and I'm sure we can do something. We'll work out something so that you can answer questions, and maybe some confirmations from the people that you have helped or dealt with. Let me not waste much time, but allow you to share with us your journey. You remember you spoke about that job which you left, where you were training to become someone very high in the corporate world, but then you left that job because of the Sabbath.
Yes.
Hey, all right, because of the Sabbath. So now, where did you start with this, where you are now? How did this journey begin?
Okay.
That's where we are now.
Okay.
Because I think it's a whole segment on its own. So there are in-betweens, of course, and I'll leave that to our audience to then ask questions if there's anything that they think they want to understand more. But for now, let's focus on your current work and the testimonies in it.
Okay, no, that's fine. Currently, as I indicated, I'm a medical naturopathic doctor. And
maybe for the sake of our audience, what's that, a naturopathic doctor?
A medical naturopathic doctor is a doctor that has taken years in school to study the natural way the body functions and how to support it naturally. So this course takes 7 years to finish, and 90% of the course primarily is lifestyle principles. How nutrition, how exercise, how hydration, how rest, how relationships, how avoidance of harmful substances can by themselves in a clinical environment prevent disease. Halt the progression of disease, at the same time to some patients, but not all, possibly reverse. So that's that aspect. I can say,
if you don't mind my asking, where did you do your training?
I did it with the International Institute of Original Medicine, that is in the United States of America.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And also something else, where is the marriage between the natural what I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yes.
Such a mouthful. The medical program that you did and the one that we are used to, the way you are using the natural remedies.
Yes.
And we have the pharmacists, the pharmaceutical world.
No, that's fine.
Where is the marriage?
Yeah. So the marriage between the two simply is that most patients, they need what is called lifestyle modifications, depending on the stage at which their disease is at. And that's where we come in. where someone might be on medication already, or someone might not be on medication, and to help better manage their condition while he's taking their medication, what is the role of diet in that particular condition, the role of exercise, what can it do and what cannot do in a clinical environment. So that's that aspect. But clinically, I recently got certified at the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine as a lifestyle medicine specialist.
Wow.
So that is to say, apart from just understanding this from the primary graduation of the bachelor's degree, I'm now a specialist in lifestyle medicine.
Wow.
So basically, that's what it's about.
I think watch this space. He is saying something there. And very soon, you heard him in the first episode. He was actually attacking me from, not, I don't feel attacked at all, but I'm grateful that you are here. And I'm also thinking, maybe this is God's way of sending me on that path. I'll take advantage. I'll take advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, let's go on to your work now and what you have encountered in your work. Do you take it as ministry or as work? What is it? Because the other time you said you're balancing, you see it as an evangelistic tool. So which, what is going on there?
Well, as far as this is concerned, I would say that to me, it's ministry. It's rooted in ministry.
Okay.
At the same time, it's work. It has got its own professional approach to it, but at the same time, the capping and the crowning of it is ministry.
Wow.
That's how I see it. So how this began, I would say, because of my experience in the health reform in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, I had so many questions that were unanswered in between what I was reading in the book Ministry of Healing. So I decided to go out there to search and study further. So that's how I started the 7-year degree program, to understand these principles from a clinical and scientific implementation point of view to get the results that are needed. So as I was staying with that lady that I indicated in the previous segment, I still kept the little bit of money that I was given by the company as a catus. Okay, so now maybe about that, this is then what happened. So Maria Sangana Mbengi, it got to a point where maybe over 1.5 years, because of the Sabbath question, eventually my salary and benefits started falling away, one after the other. So until eventually, by the time I left, there was nothing. And now they just gave me a small package. As I was leaving, they gave me my tools box, and they gave me a little bit of money. So I kept that money for a whole year. I didn't use it. And it so happened that on one day, as I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do with my career, I met Justice Hove, and then she introduced me to medical missionary work. And she said, no, there's a program that's upcoming, and it's going to cost so much to do the program. And the amount that she indicated, that was the money that I had.
Yes.
Excluding transport, food, and other things. And I prayed about it, and I realized this is the way I'm going. So I put in the money, and I bid farewell to the family I was staying with, and I went for training. That was my first medical missionary training program at Tedberry Farm Institute in Chegutu. And when I was there, that's when I began to understand some of the principles in relation to the health reform message and how to implement it. But still, after that 1-month program, I sensed there are still gaps in between. There are still gaps. I wanted to know more. I wanted to implement these in a more realistic manner. Because I had been told as Shandi, as Yendeke, so I wanted to make it work. So then after that, I began to implement what I'd learned. And I remember very well I was in Mtare, and one of the elders there said, look here, it's good for you to study further. There's an institute called Be Free Lifestyle in South Africa. I would like you to go there. I'll sponsor you to go and study there. So he sponsored and I went and I studied there, and I was blown away
Yay.
by the principles, how they can be implemented. And then he said, if you're going to get married, your wife-to-be needs to be on the same page with you. So I would like her to go and train as well. So my wife went and trained, who then was my
You were
girlfriend.
already, okay.
Yes, who was then my girlfriend. And I remember very well when I went for the training at Be Free Lifestyle, Pastor Arnold Newhoff said, if you've got a girlfriend and you're planning to get married, I would say, bring her here. Next year, when you're married, we've got a place for you in the ministry.
Wow.
So my journey as far as this profession is concerned then started then. So after my first program is concerned, which was a certification program as far as health education is concerned, I went to South Africa, and we stayed there for a whole year as volunteers at this institution. My wife was busy preparing meals in the kitchen while I was doing treatments. But early enough, at that point, I would say, in between going to Be Free Lifestyle and Tedbury Farm Institute, there is a miracle that happened here. That's the first one I want to mention. So my mom got involved in a terrible car accident, and I remember dashing to Kwekwe, and when I got there, I could not identify her. And in that accident, she's the only one who survived. And I remember getting into the ambulance with her all the way to Harare. And she was admitted at Gomo, stayed there for a few weeks, later on transferred to Paris, where she stayed close to 6 months. Yes.
6 months?
6 months.
Hasn't been bad.
Yes, and while she was there, the Harare City Center Church women used to come. And I think that also led to a conversion. Later on, when she was discharged, they said that the doctors were at a meeting and they said she's going to be in a wheelchair. She's not going to be able to walk. So she left Parenyatwa on a wheelchair and went home. My then girlfriend was in Mtare. Said, look, this is the situation mommy has. Said, no, let her come to our house and we'll take care of her. Kwamtare.
Said Marora.
Yes. So I know this is like outside of the dynamics of the ordinary Zimbabwean settings, but I think because of the white and colored background, for them it's not something that is out of the norm. So my mom went there, and I was staying somewhere else in Mtare, and they began to do natural therapies on her. Hydrotherapies, the right diet, the right mindset as far as the condition that she had is concerned. And as time went on, we saw her coming out of the wheelchair.
What?
Yes, coming out of the wheelchair and beginning to use crutches. Yes. And she went back home, Kwekwe, on a crutch, and she spent some time in a crutch. And I remember that then we had moved from Mtare. We were married, of course, and we're now in South Africa. And
you went back to South Africa after that accident?
Yeah, she was now using a crutch. So now we are in South Africa, and we were blessed with our first son in South Africa. And while he's working at Be Free Lifestyle Center, which is under the Cape Union Conference, we wanted to register the birth certificate for my son. And it was quite challenging. For some reason, it was quite challenging. And while he's ministering, I say to the Lord, if we are ministering in your field and we have these challenges, Lord, you take good care of them. So this might not be maybe a health miracle, but it's a miracle that happened during that journey of the miracles in health ministry. So this particular time, I went to Home Affairs in South Africa, and they said, look, we can't find your details. You're an illegal immigrant. So you're supposed to deported home. So there are two things. We know you Zimbabweans, you've got ways of going back home without being embarrassed. You can go like that. Or you can keep on coming here, trying to get a birth certificate for your son, etc. And eventually
You will be deported.
we can let the law take its course. It may not be a good one for you. So I left the Home Affairs and went home. And I said to myself, Lord, even if I leave South Africa without a birth certificate for my son, I don't think I would have done a good thing. I'm going back there. So I went back in. As I went back in, they then said, if you come the third time, you're going behind bars. I went the third time.
Were you an illegal immigrant, like they were saying?
No, I wasn't. I had gone with all the visa and everything.
All the documentation.
All the documentation and everything. But for some reason,
it was not
matching up for them. So I went for the third time, and they said, now you've come for the third time. We have your history in our system. We are going to set up a meeting with the minister for you on the next appointment, so the minister can hear your story. So I said,
and
okay.
the threat for behind bars?
Well, for me, it wasn't a threat for some reason. I knew I was ministering.
You knew your God.
And I believed God, and there were many miracles that He had worked in my life. I was hoping He was going to come through with a miracle. And He did come through with a miracle. So I went home and informed my wife, and I left home for this particular meeting. And someone said, no, don't go to that Home Affairs. The people there are not friendly to Zimbabweans. Go to this other Home Affairs. The people there are friendly to Zimbabweans. Usually you'll be helped in a few days. You'll be good to go. I thought, okay, let me try it. So I got into a taxi on my way to the Home Affairs. All of a sudden, the driver of the taxi says, I am not taking you where you want to go. I am not going there. I'm going to leave you right here.
Why?
Why? I'm not going there.
Zimbabwean?
No, he wasn't Zimbabwean, South African. And this was on the freeway at the exchange. So parked on the side and left me there. So I'm standing there and I'm saying, Lord, what's this?
What had happened? What transpired?
I don't
From
know.
Norway?
From Norway. He just said that. So as I'm standing there, I see a car approaching. It's a big car. I think if it's not a Hummer, maybe it's another kind of car. I can't remember what kind of a car it was. The driver came and lowered the window and said, why are you standing here? This is a dangerous spot. You don't get picked up here. If anything, you get marked here. Where do you want to go? I said, I want to go to the Home Affairs. Oh, okay, come into the car, I'll take you there. I got into the car, not sure whether I should get in or not. I started praying. I sent my wife a message and said, I'm in this particular car, the person I don't know. So I shared the live location for some reason. And the driver made a U-turn against oncoming traffic and sped all the way, not stopping at robots or anything like that, for a long distance. Then he went and parked on top of a cliff where there were shops. It was a shopping center. Then he gave me his car keys and said, I'm going to be away for an hour. I'll come back. And the man left the car, and I'm holding the car keys, and I'm saying, Lord, what are you doing? So I sit there, I'm thinking, I should...
Was this anywhere close to where you were going? Or
It was
now
not anywhere close.
And what's the conversation going on in this car and this
There was no conversation, because the guy was over speeding. I was just sitting on the edge, not knowing what's going to happen. And I even communicated to my wife, this is what's happening. So anyway, he gave me the car keys and left. So I'm holding the car keys. I'm thinking, should I stay in the car or go outside? I stayed in the car. An hour later, he came back. I said, now I'm taking to the Home Affairs. As he got into the main way, he did the same thing. He drove against the traffic. Until we got to Home Affairs.
What do you mean against the traffic?
Against the traffic, I mean, this is a freeway. It's a one-way.
And he's
The
going the
car
opposite
is
direction.
supposed to be going in this direction. He's driving the opposite direction.
Hleza, munogara kupi panyika pano patinogara? How does
So,
that happen? And you are talking South Africa freeway.
Yes, in South Africa. And so he approaches the Home Affairs and said, I'm leaving you here. When you're done, I'll come and pick you up. So I get out of the car. I am jelly. My legs do not have strength. I'm sweating. I walk into the Home Affairs office, and they said, well, we know your story. It's being handled at the other Home Affairs. We can't help you here. Let me just find out if the minister is ready for you at the previous Home Affairs where you have gone to. Because now I'd gone to this one where they'd said it's a friend environment. When they put my name in the system, it picked that I've got an appointment with the minister. So as I'm leaving the Home Affairs office, I see the car approaching.
Did you phone him?
I didn't phone him. By the time I'm getting to the gate, the car is by the gate. So where do you want to go? Then I said, I want to go to the other Home Affairs. So I get into the car, and the driver drove from that location. I think it was Benoni, if I'm not mistaken. Then he went to Senton City and parked by Senton City where the combis park. And he said, I'm leaving you here. Getting those combis, they'll take you to the Home Affairs office. So I said, what's your name? I wanted to thank him. Then he didn't respond. So I got out of the car. And as I'm out of the car, I'm looking for the car. I didn't see it. And up to this day, I believe God sent an angel in the form of a vehicle with a driver.
That's why you were going against traffic and
Yes.
Yo.
And as I left that place to get into the combi, I think it was 5 minutes away from Home Affairs. And I got to the Home Affairs. Oh, Mr. Hleza, thank you for coming. The minister is waiting for you. You need to know that if you're going there are two options. Number one, you are coming out of there to the prison. Number two, you're coming out of there going to Zimbabwe. So
Whichever way.
So I went in, I passed through all the gates where there's security checks. Then I went to the PA, and the PA said to me, are you a Christian? I said, yes. I said, I've been praying for you. I don't know her. So I went in. As I went
praying
in,
for you?
Yes. I said, I've been praying for you, for your case. And I went in. As I'm in there, I remember it was a big office with people sitting on different chairs and a big table, and I was given an opportunity to talk. To this day, I don't remember what I said. But I remember after the hearing, the minister said, take this man to the office and let them have all these documents in place. Yes. And I left, and as I left, I went to the office where I'm supposed to get the documents, and the gentleman
What
there
was
said...
the question you answered to?
I can't remember. Up to this day, I don't know what I was asked. I don't know what
how
I
you
responded. But what I believe is that God spoke on my behalf.
Yo.
That's what I know up to this day. That's what I believe. So when I went to the office, he said, never. There's nothing like that. You have paid the minister good money. And you should have paid me that money, even a quarter of it. I'm not going to give you those documents. At that point when he was saying that, the minister was passing by, and the minister said, until this gentleman gets his documents, I will not leave this office. And I was given all the documents I needed, and I left the office. And this was almost like the beginning of this experience. And so then eventually our period of service in South Africa came to an end, and we came back.
How long did you stay now serving? Was that the year you stayed in?
And that was the year
Okay.
that I served in. So now back in Zimbabwe, we then started setting up something similar
To what you had?
to what I had been working at in South Africa. And we set up a lifestyle center in Manicaland, and I think it ran for almost 1.5 to 2 years. And whilst at that particular institution, there were many miracles that God wrought. And one of them is of my mother.
Wow.
So my mother came still working with
A crutch.
on a crutch. And now the diagnosis was she now has got osteoporosis, osteoarthritis at the same time, and she needs hip replacement therapy. And we're discussing as a family about how to sell one of her houses, and still that was not enough, because they said this particular kind of treatment is only done in South Africa, not in Zimbabwe. So looking at all those costs, and then we took a step of faith. Said, Mom, come. And she came through. I think she stayed with us close to 6 months. And by the time she left, she was climbing mountains.
What?
Yes. Literally mountains. Because the place was a mountainous place. She was walking without a crutch. And she returned home. And God did for her what we could not do for her.
In any way.
What she could not do for herself. And up to this day, I believe God can do for each and every situation that we find ourselves, what we cannot do for ourselves.
Wow.
What no one
And
else can
the
do.
diagnosis, what happened? Did
So-
she go for a recheck? Or what?
So she went for a recheck, and the indication was that it was a misdiagnosis, because they could not see anything relating to the diagnosis that was there prior. And so that was as far as that miracle is concerned.
It's a
And
miracle
I
indeed.
remember during that period of time, she also went through a training of the Lay Institute of Global Health Training to learn some of these principles. So during that period of time when we were there, I remember these two gentlemen. I know it may not sound like a miracle, but I believe it's a miracle. This gentleman had not gone to the toilet for 3 good months. And he was on end stage cancer diagnosis. And the brother was the owner of a big company in the Eastern Highlands. And he came and said, I want my brother to come here. I have heard people get helped here. I said to him, we are in the process of closing down this institution.
Why were you closing now? You were relocating?
We're relocating. So we won't be able to take him in. So then he said, I will bring my own bed, even if it means I bring a tent for him to be taken care of here. So it is very unfortunate. Our staff members have left as well. We can't take him in. And I was in Mutare at that time. And in Mutare, while he's waiting for this gentleman, I'd gone to buy provisions for the team that was left at the center. And I left Nyanga only with transport money, with no money to buy anything else. But I left the place saying, I'm going to buy provisions. And I went into Pick and Pay, and I said, Lord, you have led me thus far to this place. Yeah, your children are there, and they need provisions. I don't know what miracle you're going to work. So I picked everything that I thought is needed and put it in the trolley. I remember the trolley was full. I remember on that particular day, I approached the place where they sell fruits. And as I'm approaching the place, I remember gentleman who mans the place, walking towards the place where there are bananas and fruits with a card that says manager special. And the price, I think, was cut by more than 70%. And I took all that I thought I would manage to put in the trolley. And as I'm leaving the place, he comes back to put the original price after I've just taken everything. And as I'm going on the aisles, I say to the Lord, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. But I've seen one miracle, you're going to work another one. By the time I reach the third aisle, Lord, please work a miracle. So I passed the first aisle, I passed the second aisle. As I'm approaching the third aisle, the phone rings. Someone says, I've been to the lifestyle center and you helped somebody else. I just wanted to know, how much can I appreciate you for the work you've been doing? So out of not thinking what figure, I said a figure and said, okay, fine, I'm sending the money into your EcoCash account within the next minute. When I get to the third aisle, I'm turning, I'm getting to the till, putting things on the till. And as I'm looking at the figure, that's the figure I'd said. And the money was in the phone. And I paid for it.
Yes.
And left the place. And as I'm approaching the place, I see a car by the gate. And the gate is locked. And the team there said, this gentleman has come. They've got their relative, they want to stay. But we informed them, as we indicated, that we are closing down. And that was the gentleman. I spoke to them and said, oh, we are here. We have our tent and we have our bed. If you don't have space, you stay in the tent and use his own bed. So we opened. And as we opened the gate, his power was let loose.
Oh. After 3 months?
Yes, after 3 months. So he went to the toilet, helped himself, and this gentleman, I think he stayed with us for almost up to 10 days. And whilst he was there, his relatives said, we have not known Michael to be a Christian gentleman. But these days we've been visiting him, Michael is singing hymns. Michael is praying. Michael is talking about God. What's your program like? And we indicate, we start with prayer in the morning. We have devotion. And before every treatment we pray. Before every therapy we pray. And then Michael, it so happened that he rested.
Oh.
Yes, Michael rested. And I remember when we went to the funeral parlor, when we went to the hospital, I remember the people at the hospital and the police saying, how come you are not letting us know that at the facility where you have, it's a place where people can come and rest peacefully. We want to know about this so that we can refer people to come and rest peacefully. And I think in that particular instance, they were comforting me more than I was comforting the family. And in the interim of us staying there and relocating at that time, the brother of Michael then said, whatever you have done to my brother, I have not seen it anyway. And I remember for the next 3 or so months, every month and the brother would send provisions. He would send provisions.
Yes.
At a time when we had need
Nothing.
of provisions, when we had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
It is. It
big
is.
miracle.
It is. So that's one of the miracles that occurred in that particular place.
The provisions of
The
God.
provisions of God. I remember also at one point, at this time, we had, actually this is now when we were still in South Africa, just to take a step back. At this point, there was no rain at all. And there was no water coming from the taps. If anything, there was a bowser bringing water and there was water rationing
At the institution.
at the institution. And I had a garden. And this garden, I had used the Ellen G. White principles of gardening, where you do double digging and put different material there and then plant your vegetables. And for this period of almost 4 to 5 months where there was no rain, we were not watering the beds. The beds continued producing vegetables. Not just for the institution, but the institution was located at a school. They even used to come and pick vegetables, and they would reproduce and reproduce and reproduce. And I remember in one of the books called Hope in the Soil, which is a compilation of Ellen G. White writings, where it said, using this method, one can reap tenfold.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
First time.
I'm sure there are some also who are watching us who are hearing it for the first time.
Yes.
You double dig.
You double dig, you trench different materials, and then you plant in there. And we saw it happening. It was almost 4 to 5 months. And we were picking vegetables, not watering, and they would still
At all?
reproduce. No watering at all. They would still reproduce. So that was a miracle.
Yeah.
In provisions in a time of drought. Yeah. Another miracle that I can think of is during that period of time, I then decided that I'm going to change my career altogether. Okay, I had started through health education, being a health educator, at the same time studying being a medical missionary, but I wanted to take it to a level where I am a health professional who is qualified in the area I'm qualified and still able to do medical ministry.
Okay.
So then I looked around and applied. So that's the time I applied for the school that you were asking in the beginning. And I applied for a scholarship, and it came through, and it covered everything.
Wow.
And then COVID-19 came. By that time, we had relocated already.
You were in the States?
Now I was back in South Africa.
Uh-oh.
This was now another ministry at Pure Light Missions. That's where I was. Because of COVID-19, I was hoping to finish my course, but COVID-19 just caught me there. And I was there 2019 to about 2022. And during that period of time, God did a miracle. So there was a new center that was being established. And this center, it was being established just before COVID-19. So I went to help establishment of that new center in the Eastern Cape. And as I went there, there was a couple. And this couple, they had been married for some years. And they had no children. And while he's there, I was their male therapist. Because usually in our field, there's male therapists attending to male and female therapists attending to females. So I was a male therapist to the husband, and someone else was attending to the wife. They'd come together. And well, I left and came back to Zimbabwe. And then later on, I learned that after the program, that's when God blessed them with their first child.
Amen.
Yes.
How long had they been stayed without child?
I can't remember the years.
But it had been a long while.
It had been a long while.
Wow.
So now I was at Pure Light Missions, saving as well. And while I was there, because now I'm doing my program online now to finish it. And the books were quite costly. You know, books to be shipped from America to Africa. The moment you put a book in the cart and you put an African address, the price just does something else. Yeah. So, and I think the budget I had for the books was close to about maybe $3,000 shipping from America to South Africa. And I did not have these resources. And this gentleman phones and says, during the stay in Eastern Cape,
the gentleman, the one you ministered to,
yes, we were so blessed by your ministry, and we just want to find a means and way to say thank you. Can you please give us your account details? So I gave them, and they sent the money. And when they sent the money was enough to buy the books for the next module that was upcoming.
Yes.
So I discussed with my wife, and we bought those books. And because it was in lockdown, the books took long to be delivered. And when they took long to be delivered, the Amazon team said, because we don't know where your books are, we are going to refund. So they refunded. When they refunded, I bought the next books. And for the next 3 years, God kept on doing this during lockdown.
Yes.
The books would be said they are delayed. They get delivered. But the money is gotten back. Then I buy the next set. We don't know where they are. We are refunding. They get delivered. So until I finished my course, I used that first module money I got
For the
for the
whole.
whole set of books. And during that same period of time, there's a lady who phoned. It's a Zimbabwean number. So I'm saying, Zimbabwean number, someone calling? I said, do you remember me? I said, no, I don't remember you. Said, I'm this lady. I just want to tell you that I'm getting baptized this coming Saturday into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So I tried to remember who she was. I couldn't put the picture together, but I kept on recalling, then I remembered. So this is the miracle. There was a time when I was invited to minister in Rousape, and I went there for a week. It was a health seminar for a week. I went there. First day, a lady comes after the meeting and says, I've got a relative who's not feeling well. I believe you can help that lady with what you were saying. You are the right person to assist that lady. Then I said, what's wrong with her? As she related to me what was wrong with that lady, I said, no ways, I'm not going there. This lady is almost at the point of probably closing her life history.
Yes.
I don't want to be identified with that. So day one, instead of me staying at the place where the elders had prepared a place for me to stay, I returned to Mutare. The elders pleaded, please stay, because this lady had said, tomorrow I'll come in, visit you where you are staying, then I'll go with you to visit the what?
The sick person.
And so me, I said, I'm going back to avoid going. Second day, I did the same thing.
You're
Third,
ministering from Mutare?
I was staying in Mutare, but
coming for
come
ministry.
to Rousape for this health week. And the elders were pleading, but my elder, why are you going back to Mutare when you've got place for you here? So the third day, I decided I am going back to Mutare. And that was late. So I got to where people hike. The first car comes by the main
I
road.
thought you were driving
I
all
was
this
not
time.
driving, hiking. So I get there, the first car comes. I said, I'm not taking you. Everyone else come. Those are going to Mtara, let's go. So the car went. The second car comes. And like the first car, it stopped right in front of me. Where you are the first one. You know, when you want to get into a car, it stops close to you. You are jumping in, you are the first one. The driver does the same thing. Not you. Those who are going to Mtara, it took some time looking for people going to Mtara, but it said no to you. The third driver came with the car and stopped and said, I'm taking you to Mtara. So I got in and we went. At one bend, I saw those two cars and another car involved in a car accident.
Those two cars.
Those two cars. That had said, we are not taking you. So we stopped. There was a haulage truck that the driver came out. We tried to help people to come out. People were pleading, please help us out. And we failed until they all rested in the cars. And then the ambulances came and took the people. And I continued with my journey to Mutare. And when I got home, I phoned the elders. I said, elders, tomorrow I'm staying. So that's one hard way to learn to trust in God and believe in his provisions that he gives us in the ministry. And so I stayed. The following day, I went to see the lady. I see the lady, and she could not talk. She could not move an inch. And the family said, so what can we do? So then I started saying, you can do this, you can do that. And they were writing everything down. So when she phoned, said, when you came to visit me, I could hear what you were saying, but I could not see you. And my relatives wrote everything that you asked them to do, and they did it to the point. And I recovered.
Yo.
And now I'm falling to tell you that I'm getting baptized this coming Saturday. So that's a miracle that God wrought. And I remember in the book Desire of Ages, page 31, it says there, like the stars in their vast circuit of their appointed path, God's purposes, they know no delay, no haste. Remember in the Bible there's a portion that says, God doeth everything perfectly well in his time. And here I am in South Africa. Here is a child of God
Who is
that had run away for 3 days, that I went to visit on the 4th day, and it's some years later he's getting baptized.
He's getting baptized.
Yes, years later he's getting
And
baptized.
you know, Dr. Hleza, I'm actually having goosebumps because I'm thinking of the many times that the Lord has not only saved us, has wrought miracles on our behalf, has demonstrated his hand of mercy upon us, and we testify less. I think we testify less. Because then it seems like God is not working in our day. And yet your testimonies here are so surreal, because that's how miracles look like.
Yes,
They are not ordinary happenings, because if it's ordinary, it's not a miracle.
indeed.
But this is where God has shown up and shown off in your life. And I can now relate why you are this excited about the work that you do, that you call it a ministry.
Yes.
And I am grateful that you brought your story here. Ndozati kuchine mamwe matestimony akawanda, but pane zvinoitika panguva manje. We can only tell in the context of time.
Yes.
And I think we need a third. The third one will start with a phone in. Maybe tinogona kumbotaura something tozoisa ka phone in pakati, and then you tell us some more miracles.
Okay.
But maybe tisati taenda, people would want to know where to find you.
Okay.
And if you do my home visits, do you still do my home visits?
Yes. So currently, I'm located at number 11 Masasa Lane in Glenlawn.
In Glenlawn.
Yes.
Is that the outfit that you had in Terry? Did you relocate to Harare, or you are now working under the church institution?
Now he's under Zimbabwe East Union Conference. Just by the offices, the Zauk offices, just next door.
Okay.
That's where we
do
are
you have
located.
a clinic where people can be admitted, or is
so currently we have got a clinic where people only come for consultation on booking basis.
All right.
And as far as admissions are concerned, we are only taking 2 at any given time. And the ones that we are taking at the moment is only 2. And of course we assess at first whether this is a potential client that we can admit or not. So that is where I'm stationed currently. And my number is +263 783 809 684. And then for those that may want to maybe send an email, it's lifestylecenter at zeuk.adventist.org. Then
do you only see Adventists?
So it's Adventist Lifestyle Center. But interestingly, the people that come to this center, 95% are non-Adventist.
Okay.
And most of them who come there, they come with a yearning for a relationship with God, though they are sick. This is what I've realized. In all the consultations that I do, they have got a yearning for God.
Yearning for God.
Yes, yearning for God. That's what brings
And
them
you've got
there.
a yearning to give God, to sell God, to demonstrate.
So, non-SDAs are most welcome.
Wow.
And they have been the ones forthcoming. Some of the Adventists come, I think, 5%. They are also most welcome. This is their institution. Is their project.
Is their project.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Munozati Soka. inini pache zvangu ndine mibvunzo yakatowanda ndine mibvunzo yakawanda but ndiri kudigesta zvese zvataita panapo zvandanzwa munzeve dzangu nzeve hadziputiki. I know I'm going to benefit a little bit more from even after this, but my dearly beloved people, munongoziva kuti time ndo restraint yatina, ndo commodity yatisinayo at liberty. And Dr. Hleza here has been sharing my testimonies arimo mukuita basa ramwari mu ministry. And I think you have only told us one part. Kune mamwe ma ongoing atori kunoku kuharare. Is there any one single one that you kuno kuharare yamungade share nesu without giving names, of course?
Of course.
But is there anyone that you think you can't leave this one out?
Okay.
Because people love testimonies.
Love testimonies.
Ndoka mozati kare taiverenga dzana Paulos. Ezvo takuverenga Hleza chapter mutare chapter people want to hear zvinhu zviri kuitika mumazuva edu. Saka if there is any particular testimony that you think we can't leave out, we have maybe a minute or two, 3 minutes to just share that. I won't disturb you.
I think this one that I would share is of a couple. They are SDA. And when they came through, the desire of the husband was to lose weight. Yes. For him, it was such a burden because he wanted to maintain his weight at the same time because it gives him that space of influence when it comes to decision making. And I don't know how that works, but he's quite a high profile gentleman. And I remember him saying, "I'm changing my wardrobe." And that was a month later. And saying, "Look, they can't fit the suits anymore. I need to change my wardrobe." And up to now, I think he's one of our most faithful clients who just comes frequently to say, "I still want to get this. I still want to get this." And the wife, when she came, her kidney function was very low as far as the urologist is concerned, so we want to improve on the kidney function. And for such, we just come up with medical nutrition therapy, and we encourage different types of exercises to be done. We also have got what is called sonar infrared treatment that we do. And I think now it's 4 months later, and a kidney function as far as the EGFR is concerned, that's called a glomerular filtrate is concerned, has increased by 20 points. Wow. Yes. So she's moved from one category of less kidney function to another, and she's still continuing. And she wants to get it to a good level. So this is one that I can say that is current. You have tests
that you also do at the clinic?
Yeah, so at the clinic you
have a lab, or you send people for...
We send people for labs. So we do blood tests, then they go to the different labs, and they come.
So you work hand in hand with the medical, the other conventional.
We have got medical doctors and physicians that we work with for some cases as well. So yeah, that's how we operate.
Thank you so much. I think vamwe vacho vaunze kuno kwazotaura matestimony now. If they are comfortable, we would really love those testimonies to come and sit and say, "You remember Dr. Hleza? This is the testimony." You know, saka tinongonamata kuti Mwari akomborere basa renyu, akuitire zvatisingagoni kukuitira ise vanhu, and that we may continue to experience many more miracles for his glory. And also kungoti muve muri encouraged. You are still young. There's still a lot maybe that the Lord wants you to do. That's why you've gone through an experience kunge muna atokuma 60 because from the last week and this week, the combination and what you've experienced, it's a whole lot. It's a full span yehupenyu, but still Mwari vane imwe nyaya varikuda kuti saka we pray for his mercies upon your life, your family, your ministry.
Thank you so
and
much.
Everything that answers to your name. Thank you very much, our viewers and listeners. Ini munozati ndinozoita kakuti pusirireka nekuti kana Mwari vaita zvikuru havagoni kutaurirwa. Ina handigoni kuturikira pamusoro petestimony. ende ndoda kungoti Mwari dai akuitirai zvakanaka nekungoramba makateerera. Remember, a phone in is coming. Prepare your questions, you can send them ahead panumber dzaDr Hleza. Mati dzinoti chi 0 what
783
0783
809
809
684.
684 Dr Hleza. Inini dzangu 0789922 maybe unoza message hainyatsokunyara. Ibvai mavapa zvinhu zvavo, mubva mavapa mibvunzo, mubva mavabata muenda kulife center, munoona zvamungabatsirwe. Hakuna munhu asina chiri kunetsa chaangade kubatsirwa, but zvakangwara kubvunza. Mazuva achipo, inini ndiri kutotanga nawo tichitopedza ipo pana program ndatove patient wavo kana kuti client yavo. I hope you are also going to be part of lifestyle
medicine
consultants. Demwari atitira zvakanaka. Regai tinamate tipatsane, tonamatira vari kumba nevane matestimony avo. Ngatinamate Ishe Baba wedu vari kumusoro kudenga nepano pasi. Mbiri nenyasha ngazvigare kwamuri, nokuti zvikapuhwa kuvanhu tinozvipa kune vatinoda, vamwe tichinyima. But because you are God, in you we move and have our very being. We are so excited and want to take full advantage of your mercies, which are new every morning, praying that you may bless your man servant and all the work that he does. Bless the work of his bless the work of his hands. Bless his team. Bless everything. May you continue to give him wisdom as he ministers to vose vane need mukati meupenyu. Toda kungokutendai, kukomborerai mhuri yavo, making for favor, for salvation and for protection. May he continue to minister in amazing ways to the soul and to the physical. Imimi ndo kutaura kwenyu kuti tinogona chete kugamuchira and house you, O Holy Spirit, when the vessels that is us ichigona kugashira nokunaka kwayo zvese zviri kuteramira zvakanaka. Maita enyu chikomborai. Kune vamwe vari kurwara vari kumba vakatitarisa, kune vamwe vasati vakuzivai vakatitarisa, but when they see journey ya Dr Hleza, may they be encouraged to also start their own journey of reading, of looking for you mumweya nemuzvokwadi. Tokutendai. Mbiri ngairambe iri yenyu. Ndimambo Jesu anamata. Amen.
Nina muponesi anoshamisa, anondishamisa ini, anondiwiga mubakore nombo, kune nzizi dzerufaro, anondiwiga mubakore nombo, rinovisa nyota yese, awiga upenyu muruna rwake, ofukidza neruoko, anondifukidza ini. Ndina muponesi anoshamisa, anorerutsa mitoro, anondimisa ndizoteneki, ndiye anondipa simba, anondiwiga mubakore dombo, rinovisa nyota yese, awiga upenyu muruna rwake, ofukidza neruoko, anondifukidza ini. Nguva dzese anondikomborera, ndozadzwa nembiri yake. Mbiri kuna Mwari ndomuimbira, ndiye mununuri wangu. Anondiwiga mubakore dombo, rinovisa nyota yese, awiga upenyu muruna rwake, ofukidza neruoko, anondifukidza ini. Kuti ndapfeka mbiri ndozokwira, tokumba naye makore, ruponeso rudo runoshamisa, toimba tese kudenga. Kuti ndapfeka mbiri sorudo runo shamisa toimba tese kudenga anonimiga mubakore nombo rinovisa nyota yese awiga upenyo murudo rwake ofukizane ruoko anondifukiza ini anondiwiga mubakore nombo rinovisa nyota yese awiga upenyo murudo rwake ofukizane ruoko anondifukiza ini anondifukiza ini anondifukiza ini